Every day, your body is receiving signals that tell it what to build, what to break down, and what to ignore. Muscle tissue, contrary to what many believe, doesn't just wither away due to age. It diminishes when the signals to maintain and grow it go silent. The truth is, muscle is a metabolically expensive tissue. Your body only keeps it if it's being used. And the good news is that recent research shows that even light, daily movement can reverse muscle loss in as little as 14 days if you do the right thing consistently. It's not about lifting heavy or spending hours at the gym. It's about creating a neurological and hormonal environment that tells your body, this tissue matters. Keep it, grow it. Science has now confirmed that mechanical tension, whether from body weight, squats, push-ups, resistance bands, or even slow, controlled movements, triggers a cascade of intracellular signals, notably the activation of the mTOR pathway, which is essential for muscle protein synthesis. This means that when you move with intention, especially when you train to muscular fatigue, even with low loads, you're activating the exact cellular machinery that bodybuilders and athletes use to build muscle. It doesn't matter if you're 25 or 75, the machinery is still there, it just needs the right input. But resistance is only one part of the signal. Your muscles need the raw materials to repair and grow. And that's where daily protein intake, especially high-quality sources rich in the amino acid leucine, becomes critical. Studies show that 25-30 grams of complete protein per meal, spaced evenly across the day, is more effective than one large serving. Why? Because muscle protein synthesis spikes and then resets. It responds best to rhythmic, consistent feeding. After training, there's a window, about 30 to 60 minutes, where your muscles are hypersensitive to amino acid uptake. You can double your growth signal just by eating a leucine-rich protein like eggs or whey within that time frame. This isn't a bodybuilding hack, it's biology. Then comes the most overlooked growth phase, sleep. This is when the majority of your repair and growth occurs. Deep sleep, specifically stages 3 and 4, triggers the release of growth hormone and testosterone, two key players in muscle maintenance. A single night of poor sleep can suppress these hormones and increase cortisol, which not only blunts recovery, but actually accelerates muscle breakdown. If you want to build or preserve muscle, protect your sleep like it's part of your training. Dim the lights 2 hours before bed. Cool your room. Avoid screens or use blue light blockers. Magnesium, glycine, and L-theanine are tools, not crutches. Use them to deepen your rest, not replace discipline. Daily walking also plays a deceptively powerful role. It improves circulation, reduces inflammation, and optimizes insulin sensitivity, making it easier for your body to shuttle nutrients into muscle tissue rather than fat cells. A brisk 20-30 minute walk after meals can blunt the post-meal glucose spike, reducing insulin resistance and cortisol, both of which erode muscle over time. It also supports mitochondrial health, the powerhouse of every muscle cell, leading to greater endurance and recovery. Finally, strategic discomfort in the form of thermal exposure can supercharge recovery. Cold showers or ice baths post-training reduce inflammation and preserve neuromuscular strength. Heat, especially saunas, triggers the production of heat shock proteins that protect muscle tissue and enhance the release of growth factors like IGF-1. In combination, these stimuli condition your body to recover faster, maintain more lean mass, and increase metabolic health. The solution to muscle loss isn't extreme effort, it's consistent signaling, daily training, even 15 minutes, timed quality nutrition, deep restful sleep, walking, heat and cold exposure. All of these work together to reverse muscle loss, not in months, in 14 days. Because your body isn't broken, it's waiting for a clear, repeated message, this muscle matters. Reversing muscle loss doesn't start with a gym membership or a perfect diet plan. It starts with understanding how the human body responds to daily input. Every time you move, your brain communicates with your muscles through motor neurons, sending signals that instruct them to contract, stretch, and stabilize. These small neurological signals, when repeated consistently, become a powerful message. Preserve this tissue, or even better, grow it. Inactivity, especially as we age, quiets this message. Muscles begin to atrophy not because they're defective, but because they're being ignored. This is where daily resistance comes in, not heavy lifting. Once this signal is activated through resistance, the second essential piece is ensuring your body has the raw materials to repair and grow. Protein is not just a dietary macronutrient, it's a biochemical instruction manual for your muscles. Specifically, the amino acid leucine plays a key role in activating the mTOR pathway, the master switch for muscle growth. Without adequate leucine, especially in the hours after you train, your body cannot fully respond to the exercise stimulus. That's why researchers emphasize both the amount and the timing of protein. Ideally, you're aiming for 25-30 grams of complete protein with every meal, especially within the first hour post-training. Eggs, but none of this happens in isolation. What you do after the workout, after the meal, after the stress of your day, that's where recovery and long-term adaptation begin. Sleep is the ultimate performance enhancer, especially when it comes to reversing muscle loss. Deep sleep stages, especially stage 3 non-REM, are when your body releases growth hormone and testosterone, two hormones vital to muscle repair and hypertrophy. When you cut sleep short or sacrifice its quality, you blunt your body's natural recovery mechanisms. One bad night can suppress growth hormone by over 60%. Alongside these biological essentials, we can't ignore the role of movement throughout the day. Walking, often overlooked, is a foundational practice that complements resistance work. It stimulates blood flow, enhances insulin sensitivity, reduces inflammation, and supports hormonal balance. A 20-30 minute brisk walk after meals not only helps manage blood sugar, but improves nutrient partitioning, helping your muscles absorb amino acids and glucose more efficiently. Combined with daily resistance, proper nutrition, and sleep, walking acts as a low-impact, high-value tool to accelerate your body's shift back into a state of strength and recovery. When practiced consistently, these methods work synergistically. They don't just slow down muscle loss, they reverse it, not over months, but in as little as 14 days. Your muscles are highly responsive tissues, constantly listening to the environment you're creating inside your body. When they receive no stimulus, no challenge, no resistance, they begin to shrink. But the exciting truth backed by science is that this process can be reversed rapidly, often within just 14 days, by sending consistent, intentional signals through movement. The key lies in resistance training. And it doesn't have to be complex or heavy. The latest research shows that low-load exercise done to the point of muscular fatigue, like body weight squats, resistance band curls, wall sits, or chair dips, can stimulate the exact same growth pathways as lifting heavy weights. This process activates what's known as muscle protein synthesis, triggered by a molecular pathway called mTOR, which governs muscle building. Once you've created that activation through movement, your next mission is to fuel that process. Muscle is built from amino acids, and without the right intake of protein, specifically high-quality sources rich in leucine, your body simply cannot build new muscle fibers efficiently. After resistance training, your muscles enter a heightened state of receptivity. This anabolic window, roughly 30 to 60 minutes post-exercise, is when muscle cells are primed to take in amino acids and initiate repair. That's why timing matters. Consuming a source of complete protein, like 1-2 whole eggs with egg whites, or 1 scoop of whey protein isolate during that window, can double the rate of muscle protein synthesis. But it's not just about what you eat after training. Yet even with perfect training and nutrition, if you miss the third key, deep recovery, progress stalls. Sleep is the invisible architecture of muscle growth. It's where your brain and body repair, where growth hormone surges and inflammation falls. Studies show that just one night of sleep deprivation can reduce testosterone and growth hormone levels by up to 30% and increase cortisol, a stress hormone that actually breaks down muscle tissue. Your goal should be 7 to 9 hours of high-quality, uninterrupted sleep. That means setting a consistent bedtime, lowering light exposure at night, especially blue light from screens, and keeping your room cool around 65 DEF or 18 DGC. Supplementing with magnesium glycinate or glycine can also help promote deeper sleep and more muscle repair during the night. In sleep, your body isn't passive, it's active. Your body is constantly adapting to the demands or lack of demands you place on it. One of the clearest examples of this is in how quickly muscle can either shrink or grow depending on what kind of signals it receives. When muscles aren't used, they begin to waste away, a process called atrophy. But when they're challenged regularly, even lightly, they adapt by getting stronger and more resilient. This is not speculation, it's measurable, observable science. And you don't need to spend hours at the gym or lift heavy weights to reverse muscle loss. Research confirms that even low resistance exercises, when performed daily to near failure, can activate the same muscle building pathways triggered by high intensity strength training. This process, known as mechanical tension, stimulates a cellular response via the mTOR pathway that tells your body, once resistance activates the growth process, the next critical component is providing the right nutrients at the right time. Muscles are built from amino acids, the building blocks of protein. After resistance training, muscle fibers are sensitized to take up these amino acids for repair and growth. The amino acid leucine in particular plays a vital role in activating muscle protein synthesis through the same mTOR pathway triggered by exercise. And that's why it's not just about eating protein, but making sure you consume the right kind of protein, ideally within 30 to 60 minutes of training. This is known as the anabolic window, and it's when your muscle cells are essentially hungry for nutrients. Eggs, chicken, Greek yogurt, or a scoop of high-quality whey protein isolate are ideal options. The research suggests 25 to 30 grams of complete protein per meal, evenly spaced across the day, is optimal, especially for older adults who experience what's known as anabolic resistance, a diminished response to protein intake. This means seniors need more protein, not less, to maintain and grow muscle. Think of this not as dieting or restriction, but as fueling your body's blueprint for repair and strength. Recovery, especially deep and consistent sleep, is the third essential pillar. Every time you train, you're creating micro tears in your muscle fibers. During sleep, especially during the deepest stages, your body releases growth hormone, testosterone, and IGF-1, all of which play crucial roles in repairing those fibers and building new ones. Miss that sleep and those hormones plummet while cortisol rises. Cortisol, the primary stress hormone, actively breaks down muscle tissue. One night of poor sleep can sabotage an entire day's worth of training and nutrition. That's why optimizing your sleep environment is non-negotiable. Keep your room cool and dark, avoid screens at least an hour before bed, and consider using magnesium or L-theanine to support deeper rest. Sleep is the most anabolic state your body enters. This is when your muscle fibers regenerate, when your nervous system resets, and when your hormonal profile is most favorable for growth. It's free, it's natural, and it's irreplaceable. The fourth and often overlooked pillar is movement outside of training, specifically walking. While it may seem unrelated to muscle growth, walking plays a powerful role in recovery and metabolic health. After a meal, a 20-30 minute walk can lower blood glucose and insulin levels, reduce cortisol, and enhance circulation. Better blood flow means better delivery of nutrients to your muscles and more efficient removal of waste products like lactic acid. Walking also increases mitochondrial density in muscle cells, which improves endurance and supports recovery. When combined with resistance training, proper protein intake, and deep sleep, walking acts as a catalyst, amplifying the signals your body is receiving and accelerating the reversal of muscle loss. It's low impact, accessible to all ages, and profoundly effective. The body is always adaptive. With these four strategies, daily resistance, strategic protein, high quality sleep, and consistent walking, you are not just slowing muscle loss, you are reversing it. In just 14 days with daily effort, the change becomes visible, measurable, and life enhancing. Muscle is not just about aesthetics or strength, it's your body's reserve for energy, stability, and health. As we age, it becomes even more critical. Yet muscle loss or sarcopenia begins quietly and progresses rapidly when the body no longer receives the daily signals it needs to maintain this tissue. The encouraging truth is that this process is not only reversible, but can show measurable improvements in just 14 days. What matters is consistency and understanding how the body responds to specific inputs. The first and most powerful signal you can send is daily resistance. Contrary to outdated beliefs, building or restoring muscle does not require heavy weights or intense gym sessions. In fact, current research shows that low resistance exercises performed to muscular fatigue, like wall sits, bodyweight squats, resistance band rows, or chair dips, stimulate the exact same muscle growth pathways as high load lifting. This works through the activation of motor units and recruitment of muscle fibers, which in turn triggers the mTOR pathway. But muscles don't grow from training alone, they grow from recovery and nourishment. Once resistance exercise stimulates muscle protein synthesis, your body must be supplied with the amino acids necessary to repair and build new tissue. That's why protein intake, especially the timing, quality, and quantity, matters so much. Leucine, one of the branched chain amino acids, plays a key role in flipping the switch on muscle growth. That's why complete proteins like eggs, fish, chicken, and whey protein are so effective. They provide all the essential amino acids in the right ratios, especially leucine. Ideally, you want to consume 25-30 grams of protein per meal, and if you're older, possibly more, to overcome anabolic resistance. A reduced sensitivity of muscles to protein. Post-workout, there's a 30-60 minute window where the muscle cells are primed to absorb nutrients. However, even with the best training and nutrition, without proper recovery, your gains will plateau. Sleep is the most critical and often neglected part of the muscle repair equation. During deep sleep stages, especially slow wave sleep, your body releases growth hormone, which drives tissue repair and cellular regeneration. Sleep is not passive, it's highly active and restorative. It's during this time that your muscles recover from micro tears created during exercise and rebuild stronger. Poor sleep disrupts hormone levels, elevates cortisol, and impairs insulin sensitivity, all of which can sabotage muscle growth. To optimize sleep, consistency is key. Go to bed and wake up at the same time every day. In addition to rest, gentle movement throughout the day, especially walking, plays a major role in supporting muscle recovery and fat metabolism. Walking improves circulation, enhances insulin sensitivity, and helps shuttle nutrients into muscle tissue more efficiently. A 20 to 30-minute walk after meals lowers postprandial blood sugar and reduces inflammation. It also supports mitochondrial function within your muscle cells, helping with endurance, energy production, and recovery. For older adults, walking also improves balance, coordination, and reduces the risk of falls. It may not feel like exercise, but it's a powerful amplifier for everything else you're doing. It supports hormonal regulation and contributes to muscle retention in a way that complements resistance work perfectly. When you walk daily, especially after meals, you reinforce your body's ability to stay lean, strong, and metabolically flexible. The final element is the use of environmental stressors like heat and cold to further enhance recovery and stimulate muscle-supporting hormones. Cold exposure, such as a cold shower or ice bath post-training, reduces inflammation and enhances neuromuscular recovery. Heat exposure, like a sauna or hot bath, activates heat shock proteins, which protect muscle cells and stimulate growth factors like IGF-1. These small, controlled stresses force your body to adapt in positive ways, boosting resilience, increasing blood flow, and accelerating recovery, alternating between cold and hot. Contrast therapy has been shown to reduce soreness and enhance circulation. While it's not a substitute for training or protein,